What's up, guys? It's me. So today we're going to be talking about three movies that I've seen recently: Wicked, A Different Man, and Smile 2. So we're going to start off with reviewing Smile 2. Now, just let's get it right off the bat. This film is much better than the first Smile movie ever could imagine becoming. It is absolutely spectacular when it comes to the directorial achievement of the film. And of course, not just that, I also really loved the performance by Naomi Scott, who I believe should be an Oscar contender 100%. Much, dare I say, better than Toni Collette in Hereditary, better than Sophie Wilde in Talk to Me last year, and might give one of my favorite horror performances of all time, period. So she must get nominated, or at least be in the consideration for Academy Awards, because this performance was absolutely spectacular. You could see an actor do pretty much everything they possibly could in this film with this material that they've got. It's absolutely incredible. And Naomi Scott pulls it off so much that it's hard to believe sometimes. So absolutely amazing performance and um really effective jump scares, really effective horror. The last 45 minutes, I was just glued to my screen. You know the thing when you usually watch a film and it's so good that you just have to drop everything what you're doing, like let's say you're cleaning and you're watching a movie on the side. I just had to put on my headphones, lock in, and just stare at the screen and watch the entire last 45 minutes because some of the scenes I didn't even know what I was seeing and I didn't even know how to process the effect the scene was having on me until it was over. There are a lot of noticeable scenes, a lot of good scenes in this film, and 100% it works because of Naomi Scott. Another 50% because of the cinematography, sound design, and editing. And a 150% due to the director of this film, who also directed the first Smile movie, I believe. This film, he steps up a notch. This is so incredibly fucking well made. And every single level, performance wise, technical wise, story wise, that I was floored. I did not expect this film to be honestly one of the best films of the year. I did not expect it at all, but this film was so good that I just have to give it that recommendation, and I would give this film a solid 8 out of 10. Next up, it's Wicked, and I watched this in the cinema, so I don't have a lot of clips to show for this, but Wicked was a film where I didn't know what to expect going in. I was pretty hyped about it because I read the reviews. The reviews were calling it amazing. They were calling it one of the best musicals of all time, so I went inside the theater not knowing what to expect. I was not hyped for any of the marketing. I was not excited for any of the trailers. I honestly thought it'd be bad. It'd be a bad Disney TV show type of film because the cinematography looked horrendous from the trailers and the visual effects looked unfinished. When I walked inside the theater, I watched it and I was completely blown away. I'm not gonna lie, the first 40 minutes, it takes its time to really find its footing. I'd say the coloring could have been better. The cinematography is not the best, even if some of the camera movements are really well coordinated with the choreography of the stunts. But overall, this film was a joy to watch. Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo and Jonathan Bailey, the three performances that they give are really spectacular, especially the first two leading performances. This isn't relevant to the film's critique, but I don't know how Ariana Grande is getting pushed as a supporting actress when she might even have more screen time than Cynthia Erivo, who is arguably the lead of Wicked, because the film ends and starts with Ariana Grande. So I don't understand how she's considered a supporting player, but that's just my nitpick aside, not even regarding the film, regarding the campaign of the awards. But I just want to say that this film is magical. The costume design and production design is some of the best you'll see so far in the past 4 years. This decade, it's the best so far, especially the production design, which is just mind blowing how they managed to create these sets in person. It was really good. I also want to say that the performance from the entire cast really works, and you could see the musical theater energy from them, which I really liked. Dancing Through Life, Defying Gravity, and Popular are scenes that I really enjoyed because of the performances and how lively it was, and how they played with the set design as well as how they spaced out the moments. Now, I'm not gonna lie, John M. Chu wasn't the best for this film visually because I also have the same problems with In the Heights and Crazy Rich Asians. But the way he spaced out the musical scenes. I know some people don't like this directorial choice. I absolutely loved the way John M. Chu gave levity and time to breathe for some of the scenes, most of the scenes. And it does end up with a downside of a padded runtime, but it also benefits each scene because you feel like you're there with the actors. You feel like you could breathe in and the scene isn't rushing you, which I really, really enjoyed. Obviously, the film has a lot of story issues and character arcs are left unfinished, but originally I gave this film a 7 out of 10. But after I watched the film, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I couldn't stop listening to the music and absorbing what the film had to offer to me. And I think it had a lot to offer to me, particularly because of how powerful Cynthia Erivo's performance is. Arguably the best performance in the film for me, no doubt. She gives so much soul, she gives layer, she gives vulnerability and nuance to this character, which I've never even expected in my life. And people are saying that Ariana Grande stole the show, and she did very much do that. But for me, Cynthia Erivo is the heart of this film, the soul of Wicked. And for me, she deserves all of the best actress praise that she could possibly get. So Wicked, for me right now, gets an 8 out of 10. I don't know if this is going to change. I could see this being one of those films I don't really see that much. Like, I really like it originally, but I don't really see it that much or think about it after where the year ends, just like my feelings with Barbie last year. When I first watched it, I really, really liked it. I couldn't stop talking about it or thinking about it. And then as the years went by, I just kind of forgot about it. Same could be with Wicked, but we'll see. I'll give you an update after a year or so. So we'll see about that. Really great, 8 out of 10. Okay, next we have A Different Man starring Sebastian Stan and Adam Pearson. You might be familiar with Adam Pearson from Under the Skin, and I'll just jump right straight into my review. I really like this film. Uh, I know I'm saying this a lot with the three consecutive films, but honestly, I handpicked the three films I really wanted to talk about, and A Different Man is the film that I've watched the most. I watched it 3 times, and it's the film that I've thought about the most because of the substance. Now, where do I begin? I'm going to start with my first initial viewing where I was intrigued with the concept, but I thought that as the film went by, it did kind of dulled out and it kind of pacing was kind of a bit too slow for me. But when I rewatched the film, I observed the subtlety and nuance of Sebastian Stan's performance and Adam Pearson's performance and the writing, and I took it all in and I tried to analyze it. I tried to piece together what this film was trying to say. And ultimately, the themes about identity, the themes about the way we see ourselves when what we could be is so much more, is so resonant and powerful that I had to bump it up. This film was originally a 7 out of 10 as well, but I bumped it up to an 8 out of 10. Spoiler alert for the score. It's really amazing. Now that I talked about the story, I just want to talk about some technical aspects. The score and cinematography absolutely work for me, and the writing is really strong. And Renate Reinsve, who I adored for The Worst Person in the World, is also giving this character so much life and so much depth that the page can't even translate. And this wonderful, gifted actress decided to make this character so extroverted and so real. But really, this film is Sebastian Stan's film. He is so good in this film that I don't even know how to describe the performance. It's not just showy acting, it is the subtlety that gets to me. The scene where he looks at Adam Pearson singing, the scene where he's in the club for the first time and he looks at the mirror, the scene where when he first sees his face that isn't deformed. It's those scenes for me that feels the most effective, and that's when the film works for me. And it's purely because of Sebastian Stan, who's incredible. Now, I'm not going to lie, the last 30 minutes does get a little too weird for me, and I really wished that the film had a continuous pacing and tone. And Adam Pearson, my God, does he steal every single scene that he's in? I don't even know if this is how he is in real life or if this is a performance, but he is spectacular. He is glued to the screen. He deserves to be on the big screen. And the best scene for me is a scene where he sings in front of Sebastian Stan. And that scene really took home the film's message for me. So yeah, overall 8 out of 10. I really loved these three features, and let's hope for a better year. I'm really excited to see Anora, The Brutalist, and A Real Pain Those are my most anticipated, and we'll see how I think about those films. Thank you very much.